What's up, everybody? I'm out here in Detroit, Michigan in my Tesla, my rented Tesla. Why am I in a rented Tesla? A couple of months back ago, I had an unfortunate situation with my vehicle. I had a Ford Fusion. I really missed that car. I really like that car a lot. I drive for Uber, and Uber's got a program where you can rent a vehicle. And so I said, hey, let's try Tesla. Let's check it out, see what it's all about. So I want to let you know what I think about it, especially from an Uber perspective. There's one quirk on this thing that I cannot stand. I'll share that with you later. Particularly if you're an Uber driver, you might want to know about this. And you know, it's not a bad car. It rides really nice. I got no complaints. The handling, it handles like a sports car. It's got kind of stiff suspension because of the batteries and everything. It is heavier. You can kind of feel that, but it drives nice. It's comfortable. When people get in the back seat, you know, they're always like, oh, this is so nice. This is fancy. You know, they like the roof. That is kind of cool, right? The leather quality, if you can even call this leather. I'm not even sure if it's leather even, but it is pretty comfortable. I got no complaints. People ask me about this. They always ask about, and that's one thing as an Uber driver, to be honest, I get so sick of talking about this car. I really do. But I understand, you know, they're curious. For a lot of people, it's the first time they've ever been in a Tesla. They're like really impressed. Wow. Maybe I get more tips with the Tesla. Maybe. What do you think? Uber drivers out there, do you get more tips in your Tesla, you think? So, yeah, this car can work for people who, to be honest, aren't Uber drivers. If you got a job, you're trying to get to and from work, and you got a garage, and you can put in a level 2 charger, or even not a level 2. These chargers, I looked them up online. You know, they're gonna run you a couple $100. If you're looking to do like a level 2 in your garage, you're probably looking at $1,000, right? Because you gotta get an electrician out there to wire that stuff up properly to 220 and whatnot. Hey, it could be worth it, because the money you save charging it at your own place is significant, particularly if you charge overnight, right? Because that's when you get the lower rates overnight. So you could be paying, like, you know, to get you 60 kilowatts of charge, you might pay, say, $8. I did the calculations. So if you come to a supercharge station like I just pulled into, it's gonna cost me probably like $18, right? So how many miles am I getting for that $18? I wanna say roughly, let's say 200 miles. See, this thing lies. The miles that it says you have left, don't believe it, right? I think you always want to, especially for a used one like this, right? And in the cold too, that's a whole nother situation. Right now it's probably like 30 degrees. So in colder weather, it takes longer to charge. And I think the battery depletes faster in colder weather. Don't quote me on that, but it just seems like it. Point being, in the winter time, it's not as efficient. Also because of the HVAC, it's cold out, so you're going to hit the heat, right? That heat takes away from the battery. What else I want to mention? So let me grab the camera here. I'm going to show you guys around. Before I get into the interior, I just pulled up to the charger station. Let me get this plugged in over here. Tesla charger. Grab this bad boy. Check it out. That's kind of cool. It's remote control. So at this charging station, there are what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 Tesla superchargers. Look at everybody lined up. By the way, the more people that are charging, the longer it takes. This is over by a Meijer. For whatever reason, Meijer's is the location of the superchargers in this area. How do they do it in your area? I'm curious, let me know. So, it's a comfortable car. No complaints. It looks nice. I like that wood touch. Right? That's kind of fly. Those seats fold down too, by the way. And right here, cup holders. Little speaker. Yeah, it's pretty tight. Now this whole thing with the computer, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. So one of the things you notice right away, of course, is everything is on this computer screen. You got no controls, nothing. By the way, right here, that's the air vents. You control that through the computer screen too. Here, right here, that is a charger. Yup, set your phone down there and charge up. Handy dandy little compartments. Look how deep it is. Very nice. Very nice. Don't too much like these cup holders. More storage space here. Very nice. Very nice. One of the common complaints you'll hear about Teslas is the wind noise, that's for sure. So I looked online for a solution, found a website called RPM Tesla. There you'll find the wind noise reduction kit for the Model 3 that'll cost you $30. They've also got lighting upgrades, body upgrades, carbon fiber upgrades, seat accessories, a lot of different stuff. So check them out at rpmtesla.com. Scan this QR code and find out more. So this is my number one worst pet peeve of this vehicle, especially if you're an Uber driver. This happens to be black on black, so number one, especially at night, this is hard to see. And it's not easy to open. If people don't know, they walk up, they press, nothing happens. Oh, okay, then you gotta reach around with your thumb, and it's just awkward, right? Ideally, you want to use your left hand, so you can use your thumb to go like this. But you might only have your right hand available, in which case it's awkward. That's just so silly to me. Then on top of that, once you're in the vehicle, again, it's especially a pain in the ass for Uber drivers, right? There's no handle. There's no handle. So people don't know how to open their door. They hit this button, window goes down. That's not right. Okay, so what does this button do? So when you hit this button, which is actually how to open the door, look at that. See that little sign, that little symbol right there. So when you do press that, the window goes down a little bit. So it makes people think, oh shit, that's the wrong button. What did I do wrong? How the hell do I get the hell out of this thing? Right? And I don't blame them because it's not intuitive. So you gotta tell them, push the button and the door at the same time. I do it with the right hand. Okay, I just want to show you another quirk about this vehicle. This center console, it's kind of intimidating. There's a lot on here. I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of stuff, but I want to show you some of the things that I think you might benefit from. First of all, when we hit this little icon down here, the vehicle, it comes up with all the vehicle controls. And there's a lot of vehicle controls. So we'll start with controls. One of the things I just found out is how to open the dang glove compartment box. I didn't even realize that until I was getting ready to make this video. That is pretty cool. Unfold mirrors, fold mirrors. Here's also controls for your lights. I just keep them on auto. You can turn them off. This is for parking. So I just keep them on auto. Your steering wheel controls are here, and you control this. You control different features with these two buttons on the left and right side of the steering wheel. So in this case, if I scroll up a little bit, left and right, make it go in and out. That's pretty neat. And you can store your settings for your preferences. Dynamics. So on dynamics, this is something that you're gonna want to go into right away if you do get one of these. Acceleration modes. Standard is fast. This car is really fast. It's a little bit too fast. I don't need a lot of that power, so my preference is for the chill mode. Steering weight, myself, I stick with standard. Stopping mode. This determines what happens when you take your foot off the acceleration pedal. When you take your foot off the acceleration pedal, the brakes will apply themselves with hold. With roll, when you take your foot off the acceleration pedal, it rolls like a normal car. And creep mode makes it slow down slowly. So it doesn't really apply the brakes fast. It just kind of creeps until it stops. Here's your charging. You can charge to 80%, which is recommended. Every now and then you want to charge to 100%. Autopilot. Now, I have not used this autopilot feature. To be honest, I don't want to, so I keep it off. But what I do on autopilot is turn off the lane departure avoidance. Why? Because when you're driving, let's say, look, not everybody uses their turn signals to switch lanes, right? If you don't and you switch lanes and it senses that you are switching lanes, it's going to assume that there's a problem and it's going to nudge you to kind of get your attention. I don't like that, so I keep lane departure avoidance off. Something else that's pretty interesting here is, say, the display. As you can see right now, it's a black and white display. Well, it's black and white regardless, but this is for the light. This is dark, which is preferable at night. I keep it on auto, so at dusk it turns to that automatically. You can also adjust the brightness. And here is reduced blue light, because if you didn't know, blue light isn't the best. You can probably see the blue light blockers on my glasses, especially at nighttime. It's not the best, so I like to keep this feature on. What else we got here? As far as service is concerned, this displays the tire pressure at each of the 4 tires. Software, this does update automatically, but it needs a Wi-Fi connection. So if you are at your house, you want to make sure you have this connected to Wi-Fi so you could do any of the necessary updates. And here are some controls down here. This does have a camera, so you can record situations. You can initiate the camera, keep it on auto, or honking the horn will initiate the camera. That way you can record certain issues, you know, for if you're trying to make an insurance claim and they want to see video of it. This is pretty handy here. I like the radio on this as well. Yeah, I love classical music. You can choose different radio stations. This thing always monitors the local radio stations and stays up to date. If I'm traveling to Ann Arbor, for example, certain things will come in, some things will go out. You can favorite them, so it turns up on your favorite screen right here. I kind of like this, to be honest. Here's more controls for the vehicle. If you want to open the trunk, open the front. Yep, that's the front trunk. And while you're exiting the vehicle, if you want to lock it, and just exit the vehicle and it'll lock itself. Anything else I want to show? I guess that's about it. Here's how you can connect to the Wi-Fi. There's a lot going on here. It takes some getting used to, but I just wanted to show you some of the features that it has without getting too deep into it. So now that I've had a couple months to test drive this Tesla, would I buy one? You know, probably not. Just solely based on how inconvenient it is to do the whole charging thing. But if you've got a house and a garage and you can charge at home, it could work for you. I'm sure you'll be happy with the performance and the features.